Grand Rising, my melanated people, God's people. Man, you're a wonderful people. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can be notified when I upload a new video. What I wanted to talk to you today was another one in our series of America's chickens coming home to roost. And here's one that's real interesting to me, because after following the case, when it was out, when they were investigating, and when all of this was happening, I never believed that Wayne Williams killed all those children in Atlanta. Talking about the Atlanta child killings is what they typically call it. And after watching some documentaries years later, after it was over with, I was more convinced than ever that Wayne Williams did not kill those children. And now this guy has come out, now that he's dying, a undercover person who went into the Klan. I don't think he was a police officer, he was just a snitch. And he he joined the Klan during that time as a part of that investigation. So that tells me that they already knew who was doing it. They were just trying to figure out a way to cover up and how deep it went and all that good stuff. Because you got to remember that back then, and even still now today, a large part of large cities' police forces are Klan. That's just the way it is. And so I'm gonna let him tell his story, and then I'll be back. How about that?
28 kids and teens killed over a 3-year period. Since the 1980s, the infamous Atlanta child murders have been blamed on one man, Wayne Williams.
But moments after we aired that exclusive report about a separate secret investigation into potential KKK involvement, 11 Alive's Naima Abdullahi got a call from a man claiming that he was the informant in that investigation. After vetting his identity, we sat down with him to hear for the first time why this insider believes someone else was behind some of the Atlanta child murders.
What compelled you after all these years to come forward? Is it something that's been weighing heavy on your heart?
I'm getting ready to die. It's that simple.
This is a man we'll refer to as Larry. We're keeping his identity undercover because he fears retribution for what he's about to reveal. He says he lived a double life as a Klan member during the top-secret KKK investigation called the 8100 File. Nearly 40 years ago, the investigation looked into controversial claims that suggested the Klan could be responsible for the Atlanta child murders.
This is the most heinous crimes committed in the nation. Killing those kids. What harm did they do anybody? None. The missing and murdered children, as always.
Stuck with you.
Documents state that investigators had at least 2 strategically placed sources. Larry says he became one after a Klan member approached him.
And he asked me if I wanted to join the Klan.
And so he did, as an undercover agent.
Then I was asked to be the bodyguard of the Grand Dragon.
As Larry shared his story, he outlined in details information about the individuals profiled in the KKK investigation.
After 4 or 5 meetings, the missing and murdered children come up. And says, we got to get them. We got to start a war.
That's exactly what the 8100 file details. Within the documents, law enforcement officials explain that the investigation was kept secret and sealed away from the public due to fears it would cause a race riot. 11 Alive first reported on the 8100 file back in 1986, and we uncovered it recently.
The Klans wasn't after girls, they were after males. Because males could cause a lot of problems when they got big, when they growed up.
Larry says he wore an audio recorder which could record up to 10 hours. Documents show the audio recordings were approved by authorities.
You're going to find a lot of records was intentionally destroyed by these agencies. They didn't want the public to know.
He's right. We confirm that all audio recordings, including those wiretaps, were destroyed.
When Wayne Williams was convicted of 2, I said, "Oh, we quit. This is it. We can close it out."
The GBI helped lead the original KKK investigation. A spokesperson says they destroyed the evidence once agents dismissed a link to the Klan. Documents also state that APD was also involved in the 8100 file. They told us, quote, "Our investigators have not encountered any files outlining KKK involvement." Larry also recalls details about the boy mentioned in the files, Luby Jeter, who one day bumped his go-kart into a Klan member's car.
They referred to him as a kid had run into a car, a truck, or something with a four-wheeler or a go-kart or something.
And on February 5th, 1981, Luby Jeter was found dead.
I hope they find justice. They're still human, they still bleed, and they hurt.
I could hear it in your voice and in your emotions that this is a story that has stayed with you.
I can't do nothing for them. Let's drop it.
By the way, we reached out to several law enforcement officials listed in the 8100 file to ask specific questions about the informants that helped with that investigation. With all the time that has passed by, folks, some of them have died. Others declined our request for an interview.
So what did you think of that, melanated people? I mean, it's just atrocious the way our government operates. They're bigger thugs and gangsters than the mafia. They're bigger thugs and gangsters than any Blood or Crip. They do more damage and cause more harm. And they just get away with it, and we do nothing, and we say nothing. This man says that once he was convicted for 2 of the killings, they said, we're gonna stop. Because they didn't want to keep on, then people would know it wasn't him if they kept going. They killed a little boy just because he hit their vehicle with a four-wheeler or a go-kart. What kind of shit is that? You know, but this is the world that we live in. And until melanated people start realizing the world that we live in, we cannot thrive. We cannot come up, we cannot get better treatment until we realize that the world we live in is geared toward us, that they're going to always cover, and they're going to always hide stuff. That's what they do, that's who they are, the powers that be. So the fact that Mr. Williams was incarcerated for something that he probably didn't, that it looks like he didn't even do. I won't say probably, he didn't do it. The Klan did it. And they destroyed all the tape recordings and all of the files related to the case. That tells you that he didn't do it right there, because they don't want this to come out. Well, that's all I got for you, my melanated people. This one really got me, because like I said, in my heart of hearts, I've never really felt that he did it. And, you know the drill. Touch, feed the soil, touch, feed the grass, recharge your organs, take in some sun, recharge your energies, and most of all, love your melanated self. Be blessed.